Deputy Conlan.
Thank you very much, Chairman. First of all, I'd like to compliment the Food Safety Authority for their investigation and carrying out the DNA testing initially. I'd also very much like to compliment the Minister. I've been in discussion with people in the industry. I live beside the plant at Silvercrest. I live a few miles from the plant at Rangeland. So it's a great concern to me protecting the jobs and protecting the local economy. Obviously protecting farmers and Irish farmers in terms of Irish beef and the Irish food processing industry also. And I think the Minister has been very proactive and the Food Safety Authority has been very proactive in carrying out these tests and have been very responsible in how they've carried out these tests. And that's the first point I'd like to make. I think first question I'd like to ask, if we do not get cooperation from the Polish authorities, will the Minister go to Europe, to the Commission, to the Council of Ministers to seek European DNA testing to be brought in as an industry norm across Europe? The second thing I'd like to say is, I've heard a lot of people talk in irresponsible terms. I heard one member mention continuous and pervasive industry practice. We've no evidence of that. I think it's very irresponsible to lay it out at the door of Silvercrest. There's been an issue here. It's been tested. And I understand there's been a resolution found between the department in terms of rigorous testing in the facility on a weekly basis, deep clean of the facility, change of management structure, ensuring that only Irish and British beef is used in the facility. So what I'd like to say at the meeting for all members is, this is now the safest plant in the world in Silvercrest. It's certainly the safest plant in Europe. And instead of people talking about the safety of horse meat, it's not a safety issue. It's a cultural norm across Europe to eat horse meat. It's not unsafe. The tests on the 19th of December from the Food Safety Authority found there was no evidence of bute in the horse meat found. None whatsoever, or of any other chemicals. So it's not a food safety issue. It's a food labelling issue, and has been. Now, we need to ensure that the food safety is always of paramount importance. But going forward, I think we need to make sure, in terms of the Rangeland product, Rangeland approached the department to make sure that these tests were carried out. So I'd like to say, we have to be very, very responsible, everybody in here, because the livelihoods of all these families are at risk here if we cannot ensure that contracts can be maintained. And as I say, I just want to compliment the Minister for what he's done so far in terms of talking to the multiples, in talking to the firms concerned, to make sure that whatever has to be done will be done at department level to ensure that there's full consumer confidence in the product coming out of these facilities, and there's also confidence from the multiples that this can never happen again. But I would stress, I would ask the Minister that if we're not getting cooperation from the Polish authorities, that we do go and we do seek that DNA testing become the norm across Europe. I don't blame any of the authorities in Ireland, because it's not the normal standard across anywhere in Europe to carry out regular DNA testing. That's my understanding. This is a new test that's been carried out in Ireland because basically we're so proactive as a nation in ensuring food safety and food traceability. But I think to ensure accurate food labelling in the future, we need to insist at a European level that this is introduced as a norm, and therefore consumers can be assured that when it says 100% Irish beef or 100% British beef or 100% beef on the label, that's exactly what they're given. But I think consumers need to be reassured this is not a safety issue. There was no evidence of bute or any other chemicals in any of the burgers tested. So that hasn't been the issue. So there is a lot of scaremongering going on about the safety of this product. It wasn't a food safety issue, it was a food labelling issue. I think we need to continue to stress that point.